This Torah class is brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.
It's already well known, the Avudraham that the Beis Yosef brings down in Siman Tav Kuf Nun. It's pretty widespread that the Avudraham makes a statement where he actually argues on Rashi and the Rambam, but the Avudraham says that Asara b'Teves, if it were to come out on Shabbos, we would fast on Shabbos. Why? He quotes the pasuk in Sefer Yechezkel where it says Be'etzem Hayom Hazeh, and it says by Yom Kippur Be'etzem Hayom Hazeh. So the question on the Avudraham, this is a question I never thought of, is not what the source of the Avudraham is, but why is he saying this? According to our calendar, which is already made in the times of the Gemara, so that means already from the times of the Gemara, they already formulated the calendar. It's not possible for Asara b'Teves to come out on Shabbos. You say, when Mashiach comes, so then we'll go back to being Mekadesh Chodesh Al Pi Re'iyah. Well, then Asara b'Teves will be a Yom Tov, so it's not Nagea either. So why all of a sudden is the Avudraham busying himself with the theoretical? It's a halacha sefer, it's a Parsha on the Chumash. Why even discuss the possibility of Asara b'Teves coming out on Shabbos if it's not even possible? So that's the question that's raised in the sefer Sha'ar Yissaschar of the Munkatcher. He gives a very interesting explanation. Because including what the Avudraham says is that if Asara b'Teves would come out on Erev Shabbos, we would fast on Erev Shabbos, and that is possible. We all remember times that Asara b'Teves has fallen out on Friday and we go into Shabbos fasting. That's the only time during the year that we'll go into Shabbos fasting. So he quotes a Medrash Tanchum in Parshas Bereshis, I believe is referring to, if the 14th day of Nisan comes out on Shabbos, then we will not fast Tainis B'Chayrim on Friday. Why? Because of Toireach Shabbos. Tainis is Slichos, and it's going to prevent us from being Mechabed Shabbos, preparing for Shabbos. Says the Medrash, Kavod Shabbos is greater than 1,000 Tanisim, a Tainis is Rabbanon, and Kavod Shabbos is Doraisa. So what do we see from this Medrash? That even fasting on Friday is an infringement on Kavod Shabbos. Fasting on Friday is considered fasting on Shabbos. In fact, the Taz in Sim Taf Reish Pei Vav, Sivkat on Beis, brings that if Tainis Esther, we don't fast Tainis Esther on Friday. We would never fast Tainis Esther on Friday, because how are we going to do it? If we're going to fast until the night, so we've fasted a minute of Shabbos. You can't fast a minute of Shabbos. Well, what do you mean? You break it right away, but for 30 seconds you're fasting. Mali fasting the whole Shabbos, Mali fasting part of Shabbos. And therefore, the Avudraham is compelled to explain what would happen if Asara b'Teves would fall out on Shabbos. Because if we wouldn't fast when Asara b'Teves falls out on Shabbos, then we couldn't fast if it falls out on Friday either. Meaning, as a part of the din of fasting Asara b'Teves on Friday is that, implicit in that din, is because if Asara b'Teves would fall out on Shabbos, we would fast on Shabbos. Otherwise, we couldn't fast as a Munkatcher if Asara b'Teves comes out on Friday. So the Avudraham is not discussing the theoretical, but he's discussing something very practical, because if this din would not be true, if we would not fast on Asara b'Teves had it fallen out on Shabbos, then we couldn't fast either if Asara b'Teves would fall out on Friday. I guess you could ask on this explanation that Rashi and the Rambam both feel if Asara b'Teves would fall out on Shabbos, we would push it off, and yet they still say if it falls out on Friday, we would fast on Friday. Okay, but be it as it may, this is what the Munkatcher writes in Sha'ar Yissaschar, page Taf Ayin Ches. Wishing everyone an easy Tainis.
You've just experienced another Torah class brought to you by TorahAnytime.com.